Well, hey everybody, it's Sunday, the 7th day of December, 2025. I'm Jan Erickson, and this is As Above, So Below. Well, I hope you had a good week. It's been interesting around here. The weather's been really cold, and then today, I don't know. I don't know how cold it is out there. Yesterday, I think it was 51. So it's been a lot colder than that. So we had a little bit of a reprieve. I think it was yesterday. Might have been the day before. I don't know. But we've had rain. But I hope you got to get out and see the moon when it was full. It was gorgeous. We didn't, I saw the maiden moon the day before, and of course the crone moon. I took pictures of both. But the full moon night, it was raining and very cloudy. I couldn't see anything. So that was unfortunate. But there's always next time. So let's take a look at the rune here from the Elder Futhark, the above side of things. This is Fehu. This is the first rune of the Elder Futhark. It means cattle and wealth. It's success. It's growth. It's the sending energy for magical workings. So you can think to yourself Fehu when you're casting the spell, or say it out loud to invoke the whole energy of it. But it's abundance. It's life force. So there could be something here this coming week where you could have an increase in, you might receive some money, you might get a raise, you might get a job that pays more. If you're trying to sell your home, you might be able to do that. There's just a feeling of abundance next week. Let's see what the Geomancy runes have to say. See, there's Earth. Well, we have Laetitia. So Laetitia is the complement of Tristitia. And Laetitia looks like this. Whereas, so you have an active influence with fire and passive influences with air, water, and earth. Tristitia would be this way. So your passive influences would be fire, air, water, and active would be earth. Whereas this one is a very negative way of seeing things. It's holding grudges. It's being secretive. The sadness and grief and loss is so great that you get stuck there and it's difficult to move out. With Laetitia, it's the other way around. It's imaginative. It's intuitive. It's about, it could mean it could indicate a teacher who's excited about his or her class that they're teaching, basically, and they're excited about the subjects and they're excited about the students that they're teaching. So there's a level of excitement with Laetitia and joy. Health, it portends good fortune, happiness, laughter. So from the very opposite of that to clear over where it's just unfettered joy and happiness and success and strong intuition, strong imagination. It's a very creative type of an energy versus its complement Tristitia, which is not so much. You can't really get outside. It's kind of like Carcer, where you're imprisoned in the little bubble that you put yourself in. Well, this is really emotional. And you've just become emotionally stuck somewhere and you cannot get out of it. Laetitia is much different. And so when you pair that with Fehu, this next week could be a very joyful week where you may be able to increase your abundance in some way. Again, maybe a raise at work, maybe a new job that pays more. You're selling your home and that goes through, and you get the price you wanted. Which these days I'm not sure. It's kind of it's kind of an uneven market there right now. But you never know. That could be something that you've been working on that's about to be successful. New opportunity. It's going to increase wealth. When you look at the idea of cattle, back in the day when runes were first used, we'll say first used. I can't really say that's true. It could have been even before that. You had tribal people that started moving around, and with cattle, they can move with you. And so it became a way of trading. You could trade cattle for something you needed. And so in a sense, it was called movable wealth, essentially, because they could be moved, because they'll move on their own. And you just have them come with you when you're moving to, say, from the winter place to the summer place, if you're doing something like that. But it was the idea that I mean, Fehu is really about transaction and how you transact your experiences in the world, with a focus on abundance and material security, basically. So let's go ahead, and I'm gonna cut the deck, take the lower half, and draw 3 cards. So I have 2 from the Major Arcana, 1 from the Suit of Cups. I suspect with the one from the Suit of Cups, you also see cups present in Temperance, which is the 14th card of the Major Arcana, about achieving balance. This kind of balancing fire with water, so will with emotion. But the 5 of Cups may be actually what stimulates all of this, where you've gotten to a point where you've been, something's happened, and in this case, maybe he's lost his home, or something's happened there. You can see the home in the distance there, across the river or creek, and you can see 3 overturned cups with their contents spilled on the ground, 2 behind him, but he can't see it. You're seeing him in a dark cape or cloak that indicates sorrow, basically. So something has changed. 5 means change. And also innovation, variety, freedom versus restriction, protection. Its symbol is the pentagram, which is essentially all the elements plus spirit, reflected on the points of the pentagram. That's all that means. If you invert it, it's just the focus is on physical reality, not spirit. If you turn it upside down, it's not the devil, it's not anything like that. Although some of it's been co-opted for that, but that's actually not what it means. But from this, there has to be a decision made about your future. So there could have been something that's happened in your life, and now it's time to kind of get with the program and get moving in a better direction, one that's going to help you in terms of Fehu, redefine maybe your wealth or your abundance. Again, maybe you lost your job and your home, but now you've got a new one and you're in a totally different place financially with that. It could be something like that. Again, when you're looking at Temperance here, you're looking at an angel who's got 1 foot in the water and 1 foot on the land. So you're really, and you also see the sun rising between the 2 peaks there, and the path that goes up to that. Anytime you see 2 of anything, irrespective of what it is, it's indicative of balance or a rebalancing. And so whatever happened here that caused this change for you, it's emotional for sure, but at some point you have to let go of that and learn whatever you bring with you whatever you've learned from the experience, and sort of balance your will with your emotion, grounding in a more practical, balanced way. You see the glyph for fire embedded in the glyph for the square there, which is the glyph for earth. And so there's a sense of emotional grounding as well when you're balancing will with emotion, where you need to have that will grounded in something that's going to make you not only feel materially secure, but also emotionally secure. The new day is dawning. It indicates with the sun rising between the 2 peaks that's what that is. It's the new day that's dawning. The 14th card of the Major Arcana, 1 and 4 is 5, and so you've got a duplicate 5 here, and a magnification of that energy. 5 and 5 is 10, and 1 is 0 is 1, so new beginnings between the 2, between the sorrow and the achieving a different kind of balance from all of it, invoking the will to manifest something new that's going to get you a little feel a little more materially secure, and as well as emotionally secure with Laetitia here. And so I mean, in a sense, you're looking at, a new day that's dawning, and then we have the Fool taking that leap into form. You've got the Fool, which I always interpret as the soul, is taking its leap into physical reality. Well, if you don't want to interpret it that way, it could just simply mean the idea of possibilities and new possibilities and undeveloped potential to manifest what you need to manifest with Fehu. It's just kind of interesting that even though we don't have 2 5 cards, the Temperance card is going to reduce to 5. And let me see what the overall numerology is going to be. So we also have a 1 with Fehu. Again, new beginnings, +5, +14. And there's no, and the Fool is a 0 card, so we're just going to leave that alone. That's 20. Let me do that again. Did I do that right? I'm going to go backwards. 14 +5 +1. Yeah, it's 20. So 2 and 0 is 2. So that reduces to 2, and so the overall numerology of the reading is going to be 2. Well, 2 is about rebalancing. 2 is about decisions. It's about love and healing and reciprocity. But from this, I think that when you do the rebalancing that Temperance talks about, balancing will with emotion, you're probably going to be less likely to overstep when you're invoking the will to do something, because you've got the emotion, the water element, saying, well, now wait a minute, let's be sure that this is going to leave us emotionally fulfilled and feeling secure about what this is. We're not going to go and just step headlong into disaster or be impulsive or anything like that, because we need to figure this out. This needs to go in a different direction. This change that's happened, where you're just feeling horrible about it, and it's significant enough that you can't see the emotional strength that you have still standing behind you, because your back is turned to it. All you see, if you see anything at all, are the 3 overturned cups where things just fell apart for you. So whatever that means for you, however that resonates, I'm not going to judge it in any specific way here. It's just that with Fehu, some material security may have been impacted, or you've lost some wealth, or something like that. Now, once this has happened, now you've got to turn it around and invoke Fehu to bring that abundance back into your life, that growth, that success. So it could be that once this has happened, it's now cleared a path for something else to happen, and Fehu may be representing that, and staying positive and joyful in the idea of manifesting something new, that I'm going to leave all that behind and I'm going to move in this direction now. And you use your intuition, your imagination, the love you feel. The idea of Laetitia is it portends good fortune. Whatever's going to happen should be a positive thing, according to the reading. But again, you have to get that new balance about yourself. Allow that change to happen, that alchemical change, if you will, to take a new path forward, and to see the new day there with the sun. And again, 5 and 5 is 10. 10 reduces to 1, and again, new beginnings. Also with Fehu, new beginnings. So you've got both of those present in both the rune and from the Elder Futhark and the first 2 cards here, and followed by the Fool with undeveloped potential, taking that leap of faith. that things are going to work out, and things that you're exactly where you need to be at this moment for things to work out. That whatever happened here may have freed you, although it was upsetting. It closed a door to something that maybe was preventing something better happening in your life. Sometimes that happens. And so, I mean, not always, but sometimes it does. And so with the idea of new beginnings, both with Fehu and with the Five of Cups added to Temperance, combining those two energies together, you get yourself rebalanced. And two, again, is a number of balance and healing. And so, Temperance can also have something to do with healing. So I just think that whatever, however this may resonate, whatever situation that's happening in your life or just happened in the recent past, rather than staying stuck in the loss of it, of the change that's happened, it's time to regain your balance, your inner balance. Accept that a new day is possible, that can be lucrative, that can bring, that can manifest your life force in a different type of way, with all the undeveloped potential that you could possibly have. To move forward into a better place in life. That saying, when one door closes, another opens. I kind of don't like that saying, because everybody says it, right? But it's kind of true. It's like, well, okay, this one's shut, so now I'm going to have to go figure out something else. And when you do that, when you make that you invoke that will to do that, then things have a funny way of happening. It could be something that you're just, whatever plan your soul made for coming into form, you've got different sections of your life where maybe they're little trigger points or little anchor points, is maybe another way of seeing it, where again, this period's over with now, and now you're going to be in this one, and see what that has in store for you. And then once that one ends, you move into another, maybe. I just think that some of these things happen in life because we've planned them ahead of time. I don't think we plan every second of our life ahead of time, but I think that there's moments where you've pretty much lived this part of your life. Now you're going to go do something else, or it's going to, because you did this, now you have this, and this is what you're doing now. And then maybe say it's 3 phases, and you've got the third one where, okay, this is the end of your life. What is that going to look like? And because it just seems like that's true. And I mean, you could look at it in terms of age, where you're young and you're a child, and maybe you go into college, and maybe that's the first phase, or up to maybe 25, 26 years old, that's the first phase. And then from there to maybe, 25 to 55 or 60. And then from there you have another phase. And so one may actually contribute to the other, or make the others possible. For example, sometimes it's not that way in someone's life, but I just know that when you have the number 5, it's change. It's a catalyst for change, you could say, and it stimulates something else to happen. And I think a rebalancing is what Temperance is talking about, so that the decisions that you make aren't going to be reflective of the past, but indeed pursuing something new for the future. And again, the future that has nothing but potential there. Whatever you want to do is possible. We tend to think, oh, I can't do this or I can't do that, but maybe you can. And the idea of undeveloped potential, with the Fool, you're taking that leap of faith that everything's going to be okay, and you're going to make sure that it's going to be okay. So, if you're offered a job, you think, oh, I don't know, well, maybe that's the job, that you've been waiting for. So don't be so quick to dismiss something this week that could in fact be something that you've always, you've always wanted, and you just don't realize it yet because maybe you're still a little down from this. So again, get rid of that by doing a rebalancing. Accept that there's a new day coming. Ground yourself in that higher awareness, and take that leap and see what happens. So I think that's it. I don't think we're going to need another card. I find it interesting that the hidden numerology, when you start adding cards together and you start to see, ooh, well, there's a 1 and there's a 1. Well, I don't know. Maybe I ought to pay attention to the fact that there's a new beginning possible with anything possible in it. So thanks for watching. Check out the blog over Stepping Aside. I've been working with this new format on, instead of 3 posts on Sunday or 2 and then 1 on Monday, I'm doing them all on that gets published on Sunday mornings. It's just all one post, and I'm kind of liking it. It's just a different, I don't know, it's a different focus for me, and so far I like it. I found some interesting little graphics to put on there, and I'm using those on there to kind of dress it up a little bit. But anyway, so it doesn't look like just one big long thing, you know. And so there's things like that on there that are different, but I'm not going to go overboard with it or anything. But at the same time, I'm kind of liking the way that it is, at least so far, and so check that out. Check that out over at Stepping Aside. The web address is imsteppingaside.com. The new information for the week goes from Sunday to Saturday, so it's new now. So if you want to look at the forecast over there, you can do that, and all the other stuff that's in it for the week. And come back again on Sunday for another edition of As Above, So Below. Be good to yourself, be good to one another, and blessed be.